You're very direct. People always tell you you're being manipulative or aggressive when you're just saying what you mean. I don't get people calling me manipulative or aggressive. I just get people telling me that sometimes they've been afraid to tell me what they think. I think nowadays I don't have this problem as much, but in the past, I used to have my own friends tell me, I'm afraid to tell you what I think because you're asserting your opinion. And I'm like, okay, well, I asserted mine. You assert yours. This is equal, you know? That I'm asserting mine, so you hear it. Now what I want to know what yours is. Like I genuinely want to know. And, you know, as people would become closer to me, they'd realize that I did want to know genuinely, and they would have no problem speaking their mind to me. But back in the day, I don't have this issue anymore because I just kind of adjusted the way I speak a little. But yeah, I used to like, I just very strongly state, here's what I think. And they'd feel like they couldn't speak up because I already spoke up. And it would be like, that's a them problem. But I've still just adjusted myself to not be like that so much, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know. You think it has to do with their own insecurities about not being naturally put together. Seeing someone who is makes them assume that the same level of effort that they put in is being applied behind the mask. The mask is just your face. Yeah, I think that's true, right? Like if I am easily social because I've just been social for a long time, and then they see me being social, they may think to themselves, it's so hard, it takes so much effort for them to be like that. So then when they watch me be social, they're like, wow, she's got to be putting all this effort in, when realistically it's just natural to me, right? I think that scenario happens a lot. And yeah, it comes back to projection, exactly. Projection doesn't have to be like a bad thing. I think it's just a natural thing, right? Like the human brain goes, what is it like in their shoes? And it's trying to use its own experience to build a scenario in their head of what that would feel like, what it would be like to be in their shoes. And if your experience is so different from that other person's, yeah, you're likely to project some shit on them. That's just like, you know, that's the human brain. Yeah, it's normal. I just wish they'd like give people the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe I'm just different from this person. You know? I say that to myself all the time. I go, maybe I just think differently, you know? Or you'll hear me say that out loud a lot. Hi, Hootie, we're talking about people. You have a friend that's like the group therapist. He's called you the group monk, just chilling in the waves. Yeah, I'm just chilling too. This comment makes sense to me. This is one I've heard. So you said, they might just hold your opinion to a higher standard, which I do think is more of a them issue than your own. That's something that's always bothered me, but I don't expect people to ever change that. I've always had that issue with people where a lot of friends in my life do that. They hold my opinion to a higher standard than their own. Which I get it if it's like, we're talking about the field that I worked in and I'm giving my opinion on something like that and they don't work in that field. Okay, you know I'm the subject matter expert here and you want to take my opinion on it. That's fine. But I have friends that would call me about every little thing like I was their parent and what would you do in this situation? What would you do in that situation? And they would just basically be like, without saying it directly, they'd be calling me and being like, what should I do? You know, like, because instead of being, you know, willing to stumble through their own life, they'd be like, I gotta check with her. Her opinion really just, I need it. And like, that's flattering, but I don't think I'm that wise that everyone should call me for everything, you know? I just talk through scenarios in a good way that helps them come to their own conclusions a bit, but, you know, they would still just be like, what should I do? I don't know, man. I don't know. You would call me for advice. I should do an advice hotline. We should do that. First hour of every stream, advice hotline. Now people do it in chat. They do. They do. It's funny. I'll never escape it, so why not just be a streamer, right? Sound intelligent, well put together, have everything sorted out? Yeah, I sound like it. Does that mean that I actually do? I don't know. It's just an assumption, I feel. I don't think I'm, like, stupid. Like, I do think I'm a smart person, but smart is such a vague, broad thing. I think there are plenty of things that I don't know much about. There are plenty of things, like, I'm not going to be smart in certain scenarios because I'm not experienced with that thing. That's normal, you know? But, yeah, I have some people that be like, she must know everything about everything, which is crazy to think of anyone. But, you know, I wish people would not think that of me. And I really don't want people assuming that I think I know everything. Right? When I talk about something, it's because I'm usually interested in it or I read about it. totally fine with people being like, oh, actually, I know more about this. It's this. Like, I'll be like, oh, okay, let's talk about it. That's so cool, whatever. Sometimes people will think that I think I know everything. I'm like, no, dude. I just like talking. That's all. I bet you know nothing about rodeos. You know exactly. Dark pancakes, I don't know shit about the rodeo. I've watched a couple videos of some rodeos, so maybe not nothing. Okay, maybe not nothing. But I don't know what the fuck the point is. I don't know what the fucking point is. I don't get it. I don't know shit about it. I saw the big Texas rodeo, whatever they call it, the Houston one. I saw a video of one, and I didn't watch the whole thing, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and that was it. That was it. Maybe because you confidently give advice even if you aren't sure on the topic. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I'll always say, like, maybe it's this. I don't know, but I assume, right? I try to use words that tell the person I'm talking to or the audience or whatever, like, I'm not saying this from a place of thinking I'm an expert. I'm saying this from a place of I know a little bit and I'm assuming. Here's my inference I'm making, right? But people will still hear that and be like, she thinks this is correct, So even though, like, when I advise a friend, I have to use those kinds of, like, words to make sure I'm really drilling it in them. Like, I am not sure of this. I'm just guessing based off of my limited info, But no, if you sound confident when you're saying, yeah, people will be like, you think you're an expert or whatever. Whatever. And they just, like, spoon soup into their beer, and they're like, that's for later, And I'm like, brother, what are you doing?